Trent, pretty happy with that one, mate, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I just said to you before we started the camera rolling, yeah, good reward for effort. We feel like we've been building, and especially our last 3 weeks against North Lonnie, or our last 4 weeks. We're starting with the North Launceston game where we started to turn around a few things in our game style and change a bit of personnel around as well where they were playing on the ground, and we've just been building and started to get that feeling we were becoming the kings of the honourable loss, like 3 or 4 goals and pushing teams but not quite getting there. So hopefully today we've learnt to win, and yeah, we got that reward for effort over the last month.
Yeah, you speak a lot about finding that 120 minutes for the full contest. I thought today, particularly for the majority of the game, you held Launceston well, but there was probably 5 or 10 in the second, but you rallied and you got the momentum back on your side. Was that pleasing that you were able to hold the momentum for so long?
Yeah, absolutely. We let that little patch in the second quarter when Sam Lonergan, he showed his class and he kicked those couple goals there. He had that nice one from the pocket down at the bottom end, and then he stepped Blake McCulloch on the mark. But it was a real mindset thing, and we've been talking a lot about our mindset and choosing the right attitude, or how do we respond when things don't go our way, because they never do in a game, because such a long battle of 120 minutes, which I say a lot. But I think we got that right today. I think we probably got 100 minutes right. We had the game on our terms for a lot, which was really pleasing.
Yeah, what was the message at 3/4 time? Obviously you're in front. The boys probably haven't experienced that a lot this year. What was the message from you and the coaches?
We didn't have to change anything structurally. It was to keep doing what we were doing, and it was just more so, just because you deserve something doesn't mean that they're going to roll over, because Lonnie are one of the top teams in the comp, and we knew they'd come or try to keep coming. So just because you deserve it doesn't mean you get it. You've actually got to go out and take it through the actions of I thought we defended really well today, and the last quarter our pressure was probably the best it was across the whole game. So to do that in red time or in the fourth quarter when on tired legs, it was really pleasing.
You speak about that, it's not going to come and you got to earn it. I thought there was probably the 20-minute mark of the last quarter, there was a tackle there by Matty Code. I think one of the Lonnie boys tried to get around him and he just chased and eventually got him. I thought that's probably a sign that the boys are really starting to believe that they can match it with the best teams.
Yeah, it's no coincidence. We spoke about it in our team meeting this morning, or maybe Thursday night, about no coincidence that our pressure and our attitude, and we call it pig, has just really increased since Matty came into the team. And he came back in. He broke his feet or broke his foot playing cricket or last year, and played mostly D-League footy. And he started off the year in the D-League here, and we just decided to bring him in because I know as from being at another club as an opposition coach, used to hate planning for him or playing against him, because he just gives you pressure. He's relentless, and that act there in the fourth quarter just summed up what he is and what he brings to us. So he's been really good for us since we brought him back into the team.
Was pressure the most pleasing aspect of the win? I thought as a collective, all across the ground you were pretty good. There was no absolute 1 or 2 blokes standing up. I thought as a team you really held it together good all day. Yeah,
I think our midfield's ability to generate repeat stoppage, especially in the last quarter, we've identified, we get a goal kicked on us, we kick a goal, we seem to go back to the centre bounce and concede an easy exit, and the opposition all of a sudden putting us under the pump or answering that goal straight away. So our mids have made a real focus of trying to make it a grind there, and I think our ability to generate repeat stoppage and it's not really slowing the game down, but also just to give us a chance to take a breath and get set up defensively behind the footy as well was really pleasing.
Were you pleased with the back six there? I thought holding Lonnie to 6 goals when you got Lonergan and Thorpe 10 is a pretty good effort.
Yeah, especially I don't think they scored a goal in the last quarter.
No.
Micah Reynolds' job on Mitch Thorpe was outstanding. Micah, that's his second senior game for the year as well. We identified early in the week that we were going to try and do a little bit different with Thorpe, because he kicked the 8 goals on us last time, and Micah's got a pretty good leap on him. He's strong, as you can see, and I think he would have had a lot of spoils. He made Mitch earn everything that he got, so I thought he was great. Nick Hutchinson was probably back to being Nick Hutchinson today. He been a little bit flat, and by his own admission, over the last 2-3 weeks or the last month of footy, and his ability to intercept mark and read the play was really good. And Brady Rees did a great job on Rushton as well. And then defensively, even though he wasn't in the back six. Lockie Watt's job on Dylan Riley. We played him as a bit more of a defensive forward. We wanted to limit, it was either Riley or Hines' ball use coming out, whichever one went back, and I thought Lockie's job on Riley was pretty pivotal as well.
Yeah, I thought up forward Luke Graham was pretty good, he particularly early, kicked a couple, but then his work up the ground along that wing to be able to get the footy up the ground and wheel back and get some inside 50 ball.
Yeah, we love Bill. Bill's, he's one of those, he's pretty mercurial, like he kicks goals from the pocket, but the pleasing thing about Bill this year has been his defensive actions. Like, he's probably, and that's a bit of a running joke amongst the boys, he's probably our leading spoiler when we take the stats as a forward, and so he's pretty up and about that he's the golden fist of the club. But and that's what it does with all our forwards. It starts with their defensive actions. Even young Mitchell Cook, who came in on debut today, yes, he kicked 2 goals, but he built his game on pressure, tackling and harassing, and then goals come from that.
Yeah, I thought particularly Cook, when he kicked that goal in the third quarter, the boys really lifted. There was a lot of boys got around him, obviously debuting first game, but that I could tell after that the boys really thought they were in with a shot to win it. Yeah,
guys in their first game, it brings youth, it brings enthusiasm. Cookie's been battling away. He's had a little bit of an injury at one stage, but he's kicked 5 goals 3 times, 3 bags of 5, I think, in the Mercury Cup. So we know what he can do, like as a player. And we were stoked to get him in. He came in for his debut, so he's just put his hand up to remain in the team, and but it starts with the pressure and that mindset, and you could just see how together the group was today, like celebrating everything, and even little those pressure acts and that as well.
Yeah, obviously this win's going to give the boys a lot of belief come the back end of the year that they can match it with the best teams in the comp.
Yeah, we just spoke about downstairs that yes, we enjoy this tonight, but remember what it felt like when that siren went. Remember what it felt like to come back in and sing the song and get addicted to that feeling, because winning is like a drug, winning. But they've shown that they know how to do it, especially when you consider no Marcus Davies, no Ryan Matthews, no Hugh Johnson, no Cooper Sordy, all guys who've been really important players to our structure. So just to see that what we're doing game style wise works, but also to see whoever you put in there, if you bring pressure, effort and care, you can actually achieve something.
Yep. Obviously disappointing last week with Ryan going down. Is he going to have a role in the coach's box going forward for the rest of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan will look after our midfield group. He's that playing assistant coach anyway, so the good thing with that is, we'll be able to shuffle a few deck chairs in the coach's box, and Jamie Harris, who was doing the midfield, he's moved to the back line, which was really good today, and Ryan was in there looking after the mids. Obviously Marcus looked after the forwards today, but Marcus will be playing next week obviously. But it's really good. He'll be heavily involved, helping those guys like Will Campbell, Lockie Clifford, Blake Grant, Sam Dygan develop as well. Yes, he does a great job out on the field helping them develop, but now, he'll be able to do that from a different lens, watching them and helping them out during the week.
Clarence next week, mate. I think they lost to Glenorchy today. What do you make of that for next week?
I just did have a look at the scores that they lost, so obviously they'll be pretty hungry. They'll want to bounce back on the winners list. Clarence are tough, you can see as of their record this year, they've had a really good year, and I think Standen back in playing today as well, so it just gives them another weapon forward of the ball to put some scoreboard pressure on. So all we've got to do is just go back to work, come in Monday night, review this game, take the positive things out, but also the room for improvement things, get our matchups right, look at what Clarence did today, but also look at what they've been doing when they've been playing well and up and about, and get those things right, prepare really well, and go over to Blunston. I think we like playing on the bigger grounds, with that forward line of ours, with the pressure and being able to generate some space for those guys to go to work. So just back to work Monday night. Enjoy it tonight, but back to work and get ready for Clarence next week.
Where is that biggest area of improvement for you guys?
I think probably a few things today were just understanding scenarios, time and score, and how we want to deliver the ball, or where the areas that we want to kick the ball at certain times of the game. I think we got it right a lot today. A couple of little areas which are good, we'll be able to show on the vision where, maybe next time let's stick to what we've been doing, or where we're predictable to each other. So just some little things to tidy up, just more so with our structure, but nothing and then just a few of those footy fundamentals, ground balls and all those sorts of things.
Yep. Any injuries out of today at all?
No, I think that's all right. For the first time in a while, we've got through all right. A few sore boys, obviously, but I think I've said before at this stage of the year, I don't reckon there's 22 go out on any team when someone's not 100%. So, we'll get that right. They'll recover well and get stuck in it.
Sam, mate, obviously pretty disappointing result. What are your initial thoughts post-match?
Yeah, extremely disappointing. So that's one that we sort of felt like we were always in the game, and we just couldn't capitalise. We were a little bit fumbly, and to Kingborough credit, they were pretty good all day.
Yeah, I thought early your tackle pressure was really good. You just couldn't put that on the scoreboard. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, we had some entries. I just think the way we used the ball, we didn't allow for the conditions and bits and pieces, and we been inside kick and just simple basic things like that when we entering in the forward line we didn't apply today.
Yeah, I thought your second quarter particularly was probably your best patch play during the day. Were you pleased with the second?
Yeah. You can pull sort of one quarter out. It was an okay quarter. It was still well below what we're capable of doing. For the course of today, it was a positive for that quarter, but across the whole game, there's not too many good things to pull out of that.
What do you pull out of it? I guess is something you can improve on. Where do you think the biggest aspect is?
We've just got to get our guys up and going. That's the reality. We've got an extremely talented list. We've got a deep list. Our D League go out, and our Cup team go out and win by 90 odd points. We've got the talent. But we've got to apply the work ethic, and I think we're just sort of lacking that at the moment.
Is that just a mindset thing? You just got to get in the right mindset.
Yeah, I think you can. We're heavily loaded with youth, when I say youth, talented youth, and we don't have a great deal of guys between the age of 23 and 27, and then we're heavy loaded between 28 and above. So. There may be a little bit of a disconnect between the young guys actually stepping up and following what the leaders want to do, because some of our leaders are, as myself, we're 31, Mitch is 30, we're turning 30 this year, Chris Savage is 31. Those guys are monitoring their body and managing their body, so perhaps we're not the best leaders during the week. We always have a fair crack at training and try and pave the way, but sometimes we pull up sore with older bodies, and maybe that's letting our young guys off the hook a little bit without some guys that are really striving to be consistent week in, week out.
Yeah, speaking of those older bodies, you've had obviously the bye last week, but all up I think you've had 4 road trips in 6 weeks. Does that take a toll on the group?
Yeah, we've got another one next week, so it certainly does. You have a bye in between, and we sort of let the guys get away and get a break. So travelling's tough, but it's still no excuse. The guys need to know that we travel. It's a competition. It's what we do. It is what it is, and we embrace that. And they should be enjoying it like they did in the first couple of games when they won the home trips. Obviously,
no doubt you'll review this pretty hard on Monday night.
There's 2 ways you go with it. We spoke pretty personally post game just then. We're probably now assess where we're at and go after next week, and we'll key point some structural things and some breakdowns and some personnel and potentially some applying attitude issues, and then again our D League, our Mercury Cup team will push for guys playing senior footy.
Yeah, I thought Jake Hines and Brady Paffman were probably 2 of your better performers. Along with yourself, you kicked 3. Who else do you think probably stood up?
I thought Simon Vandervelde probably saved us a number of times. He caught a few. They entered, and when they entered pretty fast and deep. And Simon, his aerial support today was probably the best it's been for the year. There wasn't a great deal other than that. Even Jake and Brody, I thought were below par with what they can produce. And Brody got better as the game went on, but certainly in the first half when the game was there to win, most of our guys were a little bit fumbly, and second and third, I guess couldn't pick it up clean, and they had second and third grabs at it and then got tackled.
Yeah, obviously yourself, mate, back first game in a while. How's the body, and what did you make of your performance?
It was, for me, it was okay. I'm a little bit sore from it, but got through, and that's what I needed to do this week, was just get through and get a full game under the belt. Yeah,
obviously you spoke about another road trip next week in Glenorchy. I think they beat Clarence today by a fair margin. What do you make of that?
It's good for the competition. Yeah. All of a sudden you've got 4th place beating 2nd, you've got Kingborough beating us sitting in 3rd. The game's wide open. Clarence beat North the week before that, and it's exciting for Tassie footy with all the white noise going on in the background with Tasmanian football. We've got a red hot competition that's up for grabs this year in 2018.
Yeah. I guess when you try for KG5, is that a different aspect? Obviously you played Glenorchy down at home last time, that's my point. Do you change anything structurally because of the ground size, or?
No, Windsor's pretty big. Sorry, actually one by point up there. No, it's okay. Yeah. Ground size relatively similar. Windsor's pretty a decent size oval, and obviously KG is probably the biggest one, or he's the biggest one in the comp. So we'll go out and apply what we want to apply and just make sure we focus on the basics and fundamentals of what we want to do. And if that gets us a win, it gets us a win. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's the reality of what we got to get back to over the last 3 weeks of losing.
Yeah, any D-League guys pushing selection?
I'm sure there will be.
Yep.
You know, we've seen us perform like they did that, and our Merc Cup team obviously have a fantastic effort. So I'll go back and speak to our coaches that were able to watch the full game and give their individual reports on players, and and we'll look at who's not performing at our level, and I'm sure there'll be changes.
Yeah, a couple of regulars senior guys played early today, and Sonny and Jimmy Garnis. Is there any chance to come back in, or have they got a few things to work on still?
Yeah, so Sonny didn't play today at all. So and Jimmy's probably a bit of a hard luck story for us as a footy club. So Jimmy's been accepted into university in Queensland. So we found out a couple of weeks ago, which is fantastic news for Jimmy, and the football club will support him over the next couple of weeks. But he's likely, or he's not likely, to move in the next 2 weeks. So we spoke to Jimmy, and we gave Jake Nunn an opportunity to hold down that centre half-back spot, and we'll continue to look for guys that can replace Jimmy.
Yep. Is Jake Nunn probably the top guy for that spot? What did you make of his performance?
I thought he hasn't played senior footy now for about 10 weeks, so I thought he was. You always know what you're going to get with Jake. His attitude and his heart and soul. He's certainly one of those older guys that you just want to play next to each week. So there's a number of guys that can fill that role, and Jake certainly knows that the role's up for grabs. Matt Spon also plays that role in the D-League, or World Cup, sorry, and there's another young guy who's Joey Chaplin, under 17 state player, who is an exceptional talent. These guys will get their opportunity. Alec Wright, Mariners fullback, they'll all get the opportunity to have a crack at that role, and one of them will hold it down.
Yep. Any injuries out of that? I think there was a concussion, maybe.
Yeah, Miller Hodge got a head hit. He was communicating and stuff sort of at half time and relatively optimistic, but we're pretty conscious with head hits, and so likely miss a week. He'll go and see the doctor and physio and bits and pieces, and go into his 7-day rehab program for a head hit.